Yes, Lord, welcome to another episode of Cord in the Kitchen. If this is your first time, I'm glad you're here. Let's get cooking, y'all. This seafood mac and cheese with crawfish, lobster, 5 cheeses. Oh my God, let's get into it. So first things first, you need some large elbow noodles. You can get the 12-ounce bag or the whole pound. If you do the pound, multiply the recipe by 1.5. So just keep in mind the guidelines I'm giving is for a 12-ounce bag. Now these seasonings here are going to be added to your roux, which is the most important part of your mac and cheese. So you got garlic salt, smoked paprika, slap your mama, garlic powder, and adobo for the noodles actually. Just so you get the noodles a little pop, or you can use chicken bouillon instead. Next, go ahead and grab a stick of butter. We're going to use half of it for the roux. Now this particular ingredient wasn't filmed with this, but you're going to add you a 1/4 cup of some flour. Don't sleep on that. That's going to help make that roux. Now here, you're going to get some heavy whipping cream. If you're doing a 12-ounce bag of noodles, go ahead and do 1 quart of heavy whipping cream. If you're doing the pound, go ahead and do 1 1/4, 1.5 quarts. Now, the chicken broth and the milk is going to be after we finish making the roux. We cook the noodles, and then we're going to stir that in at the end. So I'll explain that as we go along. Now listen, I don't care what nobody say. We put cream cheese in our mac and cheese. You're going to do a whole block of that thing. You're going to get some sour cream. You're going to do about 1/4 cup to 1/2 cup of that. Now we're going to get our lobster tails, 2 lobster tails. And then you get some crawfish tail meat. Now this is frozen here. Thaw it out. It's already cooked. You can just add it straight in after we finish cooking the noodles. And finally, here we go. Let's get into the starter show here with the cheeses. Okay, so we got Kraft triple cheddar, Sargento 6 cheese Italian, and get whatever block of Gouda cheese. Now you're gonna get some minced garlic. Me, I prefer roasted garlic, but do you? If you want the regular minced garlic, do that too. That's fine. All right, now that we've introduced everybody and we know what's going on, we're gonna go ahead and get started. So first things first, go ahead and get your 2 lobster tails out, wash them off first. And then make sure they're clean, obviously. And then what we're going to do, smash the shell down just like you see right there. You know what I'm saying? And then what we're going to do is get some kitchen shears and then go ahead and cut up under that shell. Try to save as much meat, lobster meat as possible. So yeah, make sure it's a nice thin cut. Then you're just going to cut all the way down to the end of the tail. All right. Then what we're going to do after that is go ahead and take the lobster meat out, and then we're going to wash the lobster tail again because it's kind of good. Then, of course, you're going to do the exact same thing for the next one. All right, once you've successfully done that, what we're going to do, if you got a cast iron skillet, I'd say it's the best way to go. It's a great investment. So what you're going to do is get some olive oil into a pan, get it heated up on about medium-high heat, and then go ahead and throw your chopped up lobster tails into the skillet. You see it has smoke coming. That's what we want right there. All right, then we're going to hit this over the head with some lemon juice, just a little bit. And then we're going to add in some of that slap your mama. All right. Now, I'm going to let you know right now, when it comes to the seafood, it really don't take that long at all. All right, probably 2 to 3 minutes tops. Flip it around a little bit, and then you good. And you take it off the eye. We're going to let that hang out while we're making the roux. Simple enough, right? Now, I'm here to tell you right now, the roux is everything when it comes to your mac and cheese. Do not skimp on this. Don't play around with it. All right, so first things first, get you a 1/2 stick of butter. All right, so we're using the cast iron skillet because the flavors just come out better. And we're just going to let that 1/2 stick of butter melt on down. And then after that, once it melts on down, we're going to add in 1/4 cup of some flour. Now, after you pour your flour in, you're going to let that sit and do its thing. It's going to be on about a medium heat. And it's going to make this gritty kind of like texture. And you're going to get a whisk. Just whisk it all around till, yeah, it becomes that gritty texture like I just mentioned. As you're going to see there, we want this thing to still be light bright. You feel me? We don't want to brown this, okay? So just like that, make sure you get everything off the bottom of the pan. Now, you see it look a little funny right now, right? It's going to make sense a little bit later. I promise you. Just follow me. Just stick along with me, and we going to be all right. All right, cool. So look, now that we're done with that, go ahead and put your whisk aside, and then we're going to go ahead and grab our whipping cream because that's next up on the list. Okay, so boom, look, check it out. So now we get that quart of the heavy whipping cream, and go ahead and just throw the whole thing up in there. We want this thing to be extra, extra, extra creamy, all right? So, yeah, emphasis on extra if you didn't catch that. But, yeah, we're going to go ahead and pour the whole quart of the heavy whipping cream in there. And then what we're going to do is bring that kind of to a little bit of a boil, just a little bit. Then we're going to go ahead and whisk it, as you see, just like that there. Next, we're going to go ahead and get our spices. All right, we're going to go ahead and add that in. All right, so y'all, what we're going to do is get 2 teaspoons of the roasted minced garlic. Add that on in there. And what that's going to do is it's going to allow that garlic to infuse throughout that roux. All right, we're going to get that nice aroma. We're going to get a nice little roasted garlic flavor. It's going to pair really well with the rest of these flavors. Next up, we're getting some Slap Your Mama, so we'll go ahead and be generous with that. So we're going to do about 1 to 2 tablespoons. If you're doing the pound of noodles, go ahead, probably do closer to 2, 1.5, 2. Just test it out first. Start slow and then add in, because you can always add more, but if you over salt something, then you got a problem. Next, we're going to go ahead and add in our garlic powder. So same guideline, about 1 to 2 tablespoons, just depending on you. Like I say, start slow and then build. All right, next we're going to go ahead and grab our garlic salt. Go ahead and salt that thing on down. So it's going to be about 1 to 2 tablespoons. If you ain't picked up on that by now, now you know. And I know you're probably wondering, damn, that's a lot of garlic. You got roasted garlic powder. Look, just trust me on it. Garlic powder is a staple in any cupboard. Well, it should be if you know what you're doing. Oh, but check it out. And if you don't know what you're doing, that's okay too. We ain't here to judge. We ain't here to judge nobody. Look, that's what I'm here to help for. All right, next. So what we're going to do, add in some smoked paprika. Use the smoked paprika for the roux. Now we're going to use regular paprika once we top everything off. Reason being, smoked paprika actually has some flavor in it, okay? So we're going to add that in. So it's going to be about a tablespoon. Really, you can go 2 on this one. All right. Once you've added that in, go ahead and grab your whisk, because then what we're going to do is mix everything together, make it one nice mixture before we start adding our cheeses and everything else. Now I'm going to just remind you that the heat is on about a medium high, because we want to get that whipping cream to go ahead and actually get to a little bit of a boil. All right. So while those flavors hanging out, kicking it, doing this thing, go ahead and grab your cream cheese. Because, again, we're going to use a whole block of the thing. Man, I'm getting all excited all over again. Like when I was making this, man, let me tell you. So get your block of cream cheese. Go ahead and add that on in, right? That's going to start to melt on down. And then, boom, while that's doing this thing, go ahead and grab your Gouda cheese. And then I'm using about half of the block. Go ahead, crumble that Gouda cheese on up. Then just drop it into the mixture just like here. Next up, we got the triple cheddar shredded cheese, all right? So go ahead and get you a hefty handful, whatever that means to you. Go ahead and add it on in, or if you want a precise measurement, I guess we can go ahead and do about half a cup to a cup. But I say grab you a nice little hefty handful, pour it in there just like that, and then we're gonna go ahead and let that do its thing. All right, next we're gonna go ahead and add some more cheese, because why not? Let's go ahead and add some more cheese. Now what I want you to do is go ahead and grab your Sargento 6 cheese mixture, and then we're gonna go ahead and add that on in, another hefty handful. I don't really use measurements. You just go off how you feel, how it tastes. But again, I'm gonna say this one more time. You can go ahead and use a cup roughly, and you'll be good off that. Now, we want this roux to be thick with 3 C's, thick like a DQ Blizzard, thick like made to stop. Anyway, go ahead and get your whisk and go ahead and then just get this thing, that block of cream cheese. We're going to go ahead and break that down some more, as it should be softened up some more. But okay, we're going to get everything infused to be one nice homogeneous mixture. And then we're going to go ahead and move on and then add in our sour cream. But y'all, look, this cheese pool about to go crazy. Like, do you see that? All right, anyway, like I said, we're going to go ahead and get our sour cream next. All right, so what we're doing right here is go ahead and get a 1/4 cup of some sour cream. You can do anywhere from 1/4 to 1/2 cup of some sour cream, all right? It doesn't matter if it's light or if it's regular sour cream. Just get some and put it on in there. All right, next, go ahead and grab your whisk again, because we're going to go ahead and incorporate that sour cream into the roux mixture like so there. And you see it's thickening on up. And man, I'm trying to tell you, the aromas with the cheeses is going crazy in the kitchen right now. But anyway, once you're done with that, we go ahead and turn the eye down and let that kind of just simmer for a little bit while we go ahead and boil our noodles. Real simple. Into a large pot, you're going to add a whole bunch of water, your pasta noodles, and some adobo seasoning or chicken bouillon so you can flavor the noodles. Quick tip, make sure your water's at a rolling boil before you add your noodles in. And then add some oil in just a little bit so that way the noodles don't stick together. And look, I feel like this goes without saying, but, just in case you've never made any sort of pasta dish before, go ahead and strain your noodles. That is called a colander right there, or a strainer, as most people call it. And then after that, we're going to go ahead and add our noodles and our roux together. And then we almost done, y'all. All right, now with this, go ahead and get whatever size baking dish you got that's going to fit this. All right, pour your pasta noodles on in. It's okay. If you got some little scragglers on the side, don't worry about them. Throw them away. Do whatever you do, you in your kitchen. And now, let's get into it. So first, go ahead and get your roux, pour it on over your noodles, right? We're going to empty out the pot. Yes. Oh, boy. That cheese. I'm sorry, y'all. I got so excited, man. I'm trying to tell you. All right. So, yeah, we're going to dump that all over it because then what we're going to do is we're going to stir everything together. All right. We're going to make sure every single noodle is covered by this roux. Okay. Look, stick with me now. We almost done. We ain't through just yet. We still got a little bit more of the process to endure. Look, it's going to be well worth it. I promise you. All right. We want this thing to be a little bit more moist, though. You know what I mean? I don't know why so many people got a complex with that word, the word moist. Moist. All right. Now what we finna do, go ahead and get half of those lobster tails that we cooked earlier. And then we're going to go ahead and just add them over the top like so there. All right. Look, so the crawfish, the reason why you didn't see me cooking it is because it's already cooked. All right. You just got to thaw it out, honestly. So you're going to go ahead and get about roughly half the bag, right? Go ahead, wash it off first, wash it off first. And then go ahead and incorporate what we've done so far into our noodle mixture. All right, because we want it all throughout the macaroni. Simple enough, right? Next, go ahead and get about 2 to 3 cups of some 2% or whole milk. It don't too much matter. Just add it on in. All right. This probably look a little bit funny right now. Just follow me on this, okay? We want this to be extra wet when we put this in the oven. By the way, the oven is being preheated at 400 degrees right now. But you want it extra wet because what's going to happen is, while it's baking and everything, some of that moisture is going to be evaporated. So therefore, we want to balance it out. All right, so you're going to add about 1 to 2 cups of some chicken broth. That's 33% reduced sodium chicken broth. Don't matter the brand, really. But just depend on how many noodles you're cooking, if it's going to be the 12 ounce or the whole pound. That'll determine how much chicken broth you want to put in there. Because, again, you want to keep this thing loose right now. All right, so go ahead and get that a nice little stir so we can get that incorporated. We say that a lot. Next, so we're going to go ahead and get the rest of our lobster tails. We're going to go ahead and, break those down some more. Spread all over the noodles. And then next, we're going to go ahead and get the rest of our crawfish. Place that on top. And then we're going to move on to our cheese, y'all. All right, stay with me, y'all. Stay with me. We almost done. So go ahead and get both your shredded cheeses. So we got the Kraft triple cheddar and we got the Sargento 6 cheese blend. All right. So we're going to go ahead and add that over the top. All right, look, y'all. Now it's time to go ahead and decorate and make this thing look all nice and beautified and pretty and everything. So we're going to go ahead and get some paprika. It can be regular. It doesn't have to be smoked. Reason why I'm not going to stress smoked paprika in this case is because, look, smoked paprika got a little tag on it, okay? At least in comparison to other seasonings. So be sparing with that. All right, but anyway, go ahead and add your paprika on there. That's going to brown. It's going to look real beautiful. And then add you some parsley, whether it's fresh, whether it's dried up. It don't really matter. Just get it on there. And then lastly, y'all, with the cooking process, the last thing we're going to do is go ahead and take this beautiful mixture that we done spent so much time on, put it into the oven at 400 degrees for about 30 minutes. And it's going to come out and we're going to have a masterpiece on our hands. Just wait on it. Oh, hey, beautiful. How you doing? Yes, I talked to my food. Whew. Father God, we thank you. All right, y'all, let's go ahead and take this out the oven and let's get ready to eat, y'all. Yes, Lord. Listen, you made it to this point. Go ahead and drop a fire emoji so I know you made it to the end. I appreciate you tuning in. I'll catch y'all on the next recipe.